Hi and welcome.
Thank you. Hello.
I would like to thank you for allowing me to present you this project where I demonstrate the adaptive use of a previously discussed factory for a contemporary office for IDEO, a global design consultancy known for its human-centered and innovative design approach. Here I've provided the detailed client brief. However, this is something that we've already discussed before, so I have done a little client summary. So the brief did require a creation of a flexible workplace that balances collaboration with focused work while being supporting of well-being, creativity, and inclusivity. I want to start off by presenting the concept board. So the central design concept is based on openness, adaptability, and comfort. Research conducted in assignment 22 highlighted how former industrial buildings are increasingly reused as creative workspaces as they naturally support flexible layouts, collaboration, and experimentation. Rather than subdividing the factory into rigid offices, this design embraces openness while introducing softer human-centered interventions. Excuse me. Here I have the annotated board that you already seen before and the inspired layout. I just included these for a little refresher. Next is the bubble diagram. Now this diagram does demonstrate a very strong zoning and circulation with a central collaborative workspace that encourages teamwork and visual connectivity. This is the original layout that we had already discussed before. It did have a very strong central collaboration zone, balanced zoning, multiple activity zones, functional hierarchy, and visual openness. However, after thoroughly analyzing and building the actual model, I had realized that the layout did not comply with the Equality Act since some of the areas were very dense and congested and they were not accessible for everyone. And we can clearly see that in the rear end of the office space. So this is the revised layout, and the only concern left for this layout is the noise and privacy conflict. However, that can easily be fixed by soundproofing the walls. This is the traffic flow and regulations integration. Based on previous research, I made sure that the layout does integrate all the regulations mentioned previously, such as the accessibility, fire safety, and slip ratings, hence the change in the layout. This does ensure the flow is seamless. This is a technical floor plan that I made. Everything's up to scale, and this just showcases the slip rating. So I've ensured that every aspect of the floor plan has carefully picked flooring materials, and they're all up to the standard, which is the R13 rating, which is the maximum that we can have to ensure that the whole area is very safe. Next up will be the accessibility. So every aspect of this floor plan has taken accessibility into account, excluding the kitchen, gym showers, and the storage room. However, the whole floor is on one floor. And this is the integration of fire safety. We can clearly see the fire routes, fire escapes. We have the front and the rear, and we have all the exit signs strategically placed, as well as the fire extinguishers. Next is the concept sketches. So here we can see structured forms and bold contrast. So my aim was to design a space that embodies mid-century modern philosophy, where form follows function, celebrates materials for their natural beauty and authenticity, human-centered functional comfort, and seamlessly blending craft with technology. Next is this bubble diagram that shows all the zones that I wanted to kind of have a more further explanation of what we're going to be looking for in the following technical drawings, as well as the 3D renderings that I've prepared for us. I want to start off with the detailed technical floor plan. So the floor plan demonstrates a very clear and effective zoning strategy, a strong central collaborative zone that uses flexible furniture and curved seating clusters to encourage teamwork, informal meetings, and visual interactions. The space supports IDEO's emphasis on experimentation and knowledge sharing. Quieter focus areas such as private offices and meeting rooms are positioned around the perimeter, as we've seen in the previous bubble diagram, ensuring a balance between collaboration and concentration, because at the end of the day, we do want to get some work done. Public-facing areas, including reception and waiting spaces, are logically placed near the main entrance, and the rear reception area is mainly for deliveries and employees. So this creates a clear hierarchy between public, semi-public, and private zones. Additionally, activity spaces such as the art studio and the gym are there to support employee well-being and creativity, reinforcing a more holistic approach to a workplace design. This is just a rendered floor plan of the technical floor. This is the waiting room. So this is a floor plan that I've created. So here we can see the key design features that do include curved seating, integrated planters, modular furniture that softens the industrial shell of the overall building. And with these elements, I'm able to support and create a very human-centric experience. Next up is a detailed technical plan and a elevation of wall B, which is that wall there of the waiting area. We can see built-in shelving, multifunctional seating, and lounge-style seating that does allow the space to be used in multiple ways, encouraging both collaboration and relaxation. A very important design consideration within this proposal was managing noise and creating a comfortable experience for both employees and visiting clients. And these are more detailed elevations of all of the walls of the waiting room. Next up is a snack bar that is strategically positioned on the right off of the waiting room, since they act as buffers between the main entrance and the central collaborative workplace. By placing this active formal zone near the front of the building, I'm able to ensure that every noise that is being generated by social interactions is absorbed before it reaches more quieter working areas. And this is, the floor plan and the elevations of wall D, which is that wall there. This one shows the kitchen layout, and this one is with the seating and the kitchen island. Next, we can finally visualize the features mentioned earlier for the waiting room. To further justify my design choices, I would like to add that the integration of greenery and natural materials throughout the office reinforces the company's human-centered philosophy by prioritizing well-being and emotional comfort. Research shows that exposure to natural elements such as the use of indoor planting, warm timber finishes, and access to natural light reduces stress and enhances creativity, making it particularly suitable for a design consultancy environment. These choices transform the office from a purely functional workspace into a restorative and inspiring setting, supporting long-term employee well-being while strengthening the brand's approachable and future-focused identity. As mentioned before, the spatial placement for the snack bar also supports circulation strategy by acting as a transitional area between collaborative and focus zones. Research into workplace flow helped me with allocating the snack bar, demonstrating how shared amenities can usually guide movement and increase encounters without disturbing any quieter areas. Durable, sustainable finishes were selected in response of the project's environmental goals, reflecting on the brand's long-term commitment to responsible design. The result is a multifunctional space that integrates well-being, sustainability, and collaboration into the daily rhythm of the overall office. Next, I want to discuss the seating that is carefully integrated behind the reception area and is positioned directly opposite the two larger meeting rooms that I have for this space.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to add 2 waiting rooms?
So this seating area serves more of an informal waiting area that and it's like an interaction zone that allows staff to welcome clients into a more relaxed environment before formal meetings do take place. So instead of having to take the client from the reception area directly into the meeting room, things can be more tense. This just serves as a good breaking point in between them.
Okay, thank you very much.
I would also like to note that the 2 meeting rooms are strategically placed. Not only do they accommodate client presentations, they also act as a physical and acoustic barriers between more public-facing areas and the private office spaces right behind them. And once you've entered the heart of the layout, I further reinforce the noise that may occur from the other side of the wall. I designed these built-in shelves that also have steps that can be used as seats to ensure that every noise will be cancelled. This design choice reflects on the company's human-centered ethos, which is prioritizing comfort, emotional ease, and user experience. This is another visual of the collaboration zone. As we can see, the use of multi-purpose furniture and modular furniture is still very present. This reflects IDEO's commitment to experimentation and adaptability. Rather than fixed layouts, the design enables teams to rehearse and reshape their environments depending on project needs. This strategy was informed by research into agile workplace models and case studies of innovation-driven studios where flexibility was identified as a key contributor to creative outputs. So by allowing users to physically manipulate the space, the office becomes an active tool for collaboration rather than a static container, reinforcing the brand ethos on continuous evolution and problem solving. Although we want to encourage collaboration as much as possible, acoustic panels, soft furnishings, and private work pods have been incorporated to balance openness with comfort and to ensure that collaboration does not compromise concentration. This approach aligns with workplace research, highlighting the importance of adaptable environments that support both social and focused productivity. Next, I just wanted to add more visuals of some other places of the company. These are the 2 meeting rooms that are inside the work area. I have taken the same concept that I have for the other larger meeting rooms that are in front of at the rear end of the floor plan. I have a smaller waiting area before we walk into the actual meeting rooms. And we can also see that in these other offices, so this is the private office, is that one over there on the left, and a semi-private collaborative office right on the right. And then here we have another collaborative office. This is the one that is on the top of the floor plan, and these two are located on the bottom of the floor plan. This is the office that is right next to the art studio. In here we can also see the focus on modular furniture. And in the open plan collaborative workspace, this once again aligns and reflects with the human-centered and experimentation-driven culture. And the absence of rigid partitions encourages spontaneous communication and cross-team interaction, which mirrors IDEO's emphasis on knowledge sharing and co-creation. And next we have the sample board. So we can clearly see that the color palette blends earthy tones of caramel, rust, olive, and walnut, with soft neutral reflecting warmth, grounding, and underrested luxury. These tones are paired with natural materials such as wood, leather, and stone, and they're chosen for their tacticality and long-term quality. Overall, this proposal does successfully meet the design brief by creating a flexible, collaborative, and well-being focused workplace that reflects IDEO's values. The design demonstrates how research into adaptive reuse, contemporary office trends, and regulatory frameworks has directly informed design decisions, resulting in a space that is both conceptually strong and practically viable.
Okay. Thank you so much. It was very good.
Thank you.